Time for Wrangler 5-star finishes. And for today, we look back 1 year ago. Bill Elliott winning the Pennzoil Freedom 400. Started on the pole, but it looked like Tony Stewart was going to win the race until a late mistake coming to pit road got Elliott back in position, and Bill made the most of it from there to log his first win since 1994. For more on Wrangler 5-star finishes, log on to NASCAR.com. Today's leaders, Joe Nemechek, out in front by 0.8 of a second on Dale Jarrett with 78 laps to go in the Ford 400. Jimmy Spencer, who was running third, is now running sixth. Problems on that 41 car. Matt, what do you think's going on there?
Well, Alan, a few laps ago, Jimmy came on the radio and said, guys, I think I may have a tire going down. The car is just going from loose to bad loose to wicked loose. The guys are on the wall, ready to pit the car if Jimmy needs to come earlier than his scheduled stop.
I will concur with Jimmy. That is wicked loose we're watching right there.
Jimmy Spencer has big hands, but he's got both his hands full trying to keep that 41 car going straight. Mark Martin trying to go forward.
Well, he's trying to get around the lap car, Jeremy Mayfield BP. Actually, he's lost a spot. Jeff Burton, his teammate, went by him a minute ago, Marty.
Alan, he continues to run in the top 10. You see points as they stand right now. 56 behind is Mark Martin. He needs to gain a lot more than that. Currently 11 for Mark Martin. I just asked Ben Leslie, how's the car? He said it's just okay. It's not spectacular, just okay. Bill?
Working lap 192 of this race. On lap 188, Tony Stewart to his crew, real loose. You see the 25 dash inside of him, real loose for Tony Stewart as he falls off the lead lap with Nemechek going by.
That's big, because if a caution comes out,
yes, sir,
Tony loses the opportunity to gain a lot of positions back if they straighten the handling on this car out.
Yeah, and he's got to restart back in that mess.
Now 21 cars on the lead lap. Tony Stewart not among them. Problem for Mark Martin is he needs spectacular. Okay's not going to get it done.
No, I mean, he's got to have a spectacular run. Today, he's just not been able to do it. And Tony Stewart is just, he's hanging in there where he needs to be.
Tony Stewart needs to finish 22nd or better if Mark Martin wins the race. Right now, Mark's only running 11th. And Tony is running in 22nd place.
Yeah, Tony's car just looks awful right now.
32 Ricky Craven, couple of laps down. He's in 29th spot. Dale Jarrett is the second place car, the UPS machine, trying to make the pass.
Look at that.
Both those cars go by Tony Stewart. Jimmy Johnson. See Jack Sprague back on the racetrack. Did he spend some time in the pits?
No.
Well, he made an unscheduled stop early, I guess, is what I was thinking of.
Michael Waltrip's back on the track after some time behind the wall. Mikey 56 laps down in 42nd place. Involved in a crash at lap number 94 over in turn 2. And had some rather direct comments about the track conditions they're racing under today.
Risk of the accelerator. Just to sound like he's a quarter throttle.
Yeah.
As he tries to.
He gets in and then he backs off it.
Oh, big crash, turn 1. Jimmy Spencer.
Well, it finally got real loose.
Get out of there, it's on fire, buddy. Yeah, I don't know what happened, it just blew up, I guess, going in.
Caution is out. And Spencer wiggling out of that car, and it's good to see. Did Stewart get a lap back there? No. Tony did not get his lap back.
It's on fire, buddy. Get out. I see him getting out on TV. He's okay, he's getting out.
Good to see that Jimmy's okay.
Well, that thing was terrible loose. He was right. We've been watching that. He's had his hands full. We don't know. So
you know, he wondered if he had a tire going down. Something happened where he crashed is very early in the corner. You could see the marks on the wall if you look back.
Yeah.
He crashed very early in the corner, so something happened to that car.
Mechanical, definitely.
See that? Look at that.
Take a look here. See him coming down the straightaway right there. And that thing just turned sideways on its own.
Right rear tires.
No.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it was flat.
Yeah, it is flat.
Yep.
So he did have a tire going down like he suspected.
Oof.
Wow, that guy standing there got warm.
See that photographer?
Yeah.
And Greg Biffle did the same thing yesterday. You know, stayed out there with a flat tire, did not crash, but might have cost himself a victory.
All right, here come all of the leaders onto pit road. Dave?
Track bar down again, still loose, 4 tires. Matt Kenseth, this run when they go back out will be 4 laps longer than the last run they made. Marty?
Mark Martin says the car still feels just a little bit loose to me. One turn into the left rear for Mark. That should tighten him up just a bit. 4 tires, Matt.
Nemechek was going to make his last stop at lap 210. He asked Peter Suspenzo, can we go the distance from here? He said no. 4-tire change, no adjustments for Joe Nemechek. Bill.
Right side tires are already on for Dale Jarrett. Lefts are on. He's got fuel. He's on his way.
And he's going to beat Joe Nemechek out.
Yes, he is.
Way to go, guys.
But you know what, guys? Believe it or not, we're in that fuel situation.
I wish we were not going to say that.
Some cars might be able to make it from here the rest of the way.
And how about Tony Stewart? We talked about how big a moment it was when Joe Nemechek put him a lap down at lap 192.
This is not where he wants to be.
Now, by being 1 lap down, the farthest up in the field he can get is 22nd place, unless he can run well enough to get back on the lead lap.
Well, these guys should get him out first.
Yeah.
You know, so he'll have a shot at getting that lap back if his guys can get him off pit lane first here.
The problem is that Mark Martin is still running 14th.
Yes.
It's not like he's, you know, Dale Jarrett and leading the race and what have you. He's 14th place car.
So these are the cars a lap or more down coming in for their pit stops. Bill?
And I'm telling you, for Tony Stewart and for this crew, this trip down pit road before he gets to his stall must seem like it's taking forever. Last radio transmission before the caution, loose, loose, loose. Zipadelli said, hang in there, maybe we'll get a caution. They got a caution, he couldn't get his lap back. Zippy asked him about the car. It's loose in, loose on exit. So they're going to make a major chassis adjustment along with an air pressure adjustment. Took a long time on that right rear. Looks like they pulled a spring rubber out of there. In fact, it's lying on the track. Come around to the left side, left front's on, bolting on the left rear. He's going to have to hustle to beat the form, but he will.
And Bill said, feels like forever getting down pit road. This day is taking forever. That 20 guys.
Just checking things as they shuffle up the standings. Tony could be as high as 20th on this restart because Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been on pit road a couple of times with the hood up on his car. So we'll check where things come out, but no higher than 20th on the restart. Bill, what about Junior?
Yeah, they're messing under the hood there. They're trying to change some spark plugs, see if that'll help. They think it's still could be a valve spring. Working on that under the hood. Second time he's been here. Getting the 1 to go, I think, this time by.
All right, so I was talking about Stewart, no higher than 20th on the restart. Mark Martin off pit road, 7th.
Ooh. Oh, he did come off 7th?
Yep. Good stop. But it's still not enough for Martin to wrestle the championship away from Stewart. A long way to go, though. Still 70 laps of racing remaining at Homestead. At 300 miles, let's check our Pepsi race recap. Tony Stewart and Mark Martin chasing the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship in the season's final race. Went green just after 1 Eastern time, just into the race. Dave Blaney started 25th but crashed in turn 1. He's back on the track, then retired for the day. Martin's had his share of close calls. That was racing John Andretti for a spot just inside the top 10. Scary moment on pit road. Bobby Labonte's team with a pit fire. Peter Gellin, the gas man, okay after being treated at the infield medical center. He is back in the team's pit now. Michael Waltrip involved in the day's second crash. Lap 94, no contact from Jamie McMurray there. Michael not happy about the track conditions at that point, voicing that to us earlier. Mark Martin passing Tony Stewart for position on the racetrack as Tony started to slide back into the field. Close call coming into pit road, no problem there for Stewart, but Tony's car, the handling has just gone away. He went a lap down to Joe Nemechek there at 192. That came back to bite him when 4 laps later the caution came out for this hard crash. Jimmy Spencer, who had been riding as high as 2nd in the standings, okay after that fiery exit from the race, but it trapped Tony Stewart a lap down in 21st position while Mark Martin runs in 7th.
Breathe in.
As you see, Mark Martin right now 43 points behind Tony Stewart.
So the picture coming into the day,
Tony Stewart, if he finishes 22nd or better, he's the champion no matter what Mark does. But if Mark leads a lap, which he hasn't yet, then Tony's got to finish 24th, or if he leads a lap, I should say, then he goes back to 24th or better.
and remember the 25-point penalty that Mark Martin and Jack Roush received after the Rockingham race for the unapproved left front spring. Everybody's hope for the day, for the clarity of this championship, is that the gap is 25 or greater if Mark loses at the end of the day, so that doesn't hang over Tony Stewart's championship and Mark Martin's loss if that's the case.
And I tell you what, these jet are still out there trying to get this debris, rubber, sand off the racetrack.
Look at all that rubber up right up there in the corner. A lot of rubber.
And it's taking, these cars are riding around under the caution flag, and I'm telling you, we're getting to the point that some cars are going to try to make it on the fuel they have in their cars and not stop.
And most everybody will come in probably want to go, don't you think, and top off.
There are some coming off pit road now that just did stop and top off. Matt Kenseth, Kevin Harvick, Ward Burton, those are all lead lap cars. They just stopped and topped off the fuel. The stops were with 71 laps to go. This is with 66 to go right now. And they're going to get the 1 to go signal when they come back, so then we'll see how many more come in and top off.
I'd always wait to the last second.
Okay, well, these guys right now, they've got to make a choice. Entrance to pit road is right now. If you're going to try to make it on, you got to stop. Well, okay.
Jarrett didn't.
Mark didn't.
Nemechek didn't. No, Martin stayed out.
Who's that coming?
That's Ricky Rudd. How about the 25 car, Matty?
A lot of debate down in the 25 pit. The legendary Ed Goza, the chief mechanic, and Peter Suspenzo talking about what to do. They finally, after doing some calculations, realized they are not going to be able to make it even if they top off. They're going to stay out and hope for a caution.
Wow.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting, Bill.
And right now, the conversation going on, the back of Jimmy Maycar talking to Greg Zipadelli in the brain trust of Tony Stewart's Home Depot Pontiac. Basically, what you've got here is the experience of Maycar relating what he's been through in his career in these certain situations and what Zipadelli's plan is and any way they can help the 20 without hindering the competition. That's key. As far as fuel mileage is concerned, 2 laps short for the 20 car. 2 laps short.
Ouch. So Stewart, as the first car 1 lap down, is going to get to line up to the inside of leader Dale Jarrett and try and get his lap back here in the first go after the restart. How about the 6 car, Marty?
Oh, and it is the same story for Mark Martin as they now wave off the caution. They'll get 1 more lap. Ben Leslie will have 1 more chance to rethink this. They were going to come down pit road and top off the fuel. They decided against that because they were giving up too much track position.
Let's take a break before they go back under green. They have waved off the restart. We're back at Homestead in a minute.